high school football playoffs are in full swing around the state of Ohio, and tonight from Mentor we have Division I action on the Time Warner Cable High School Football Game of the Week. Hi again, everybody. David Wilson along with Patrick Pearson. Welcome to our coverage of high school football here on Time Warner Cable Sports. We're at Osborne Stadium on the campus of Mentor High School tonight, and we have a number 4 versus number 5 matchup in Division I, Region I, as the Mentor Cardinals host the Raiders out of Warren Harding High School. Well, Patrick, to talk about the visitors from Warren Harding, what a turnaround from a 2-8 team a year ago. They are 9-1, and they enter the playoffs on a 9-game winning streak.
Harding is a team with a strong football tradition, but you are right, just 2-8 a season ago. Steve Arnold comes in, who had been the tremendously successful boys basketball coach at Warren Harding, and has really turned this program around. He has gotten his young men to buy into his philosophy and his program. They have done an excellent job, as evidenced by the fact that at 9-1 they were able to earn a number 5 seed in the always tough Division I, Region I.
Well, Mentor also 9-1. The only blemish on their record is a loss to the highly regarded Wildcats of St. Ignatius, and when you get into playoff time, you need a high-powered offense, and that's exactly what you get with the Mentor Cardinals. The
Cardinals have been tremendously balanced offensively with their attack, better than 2,200 yards rushing, better than 2,500 yards passing, and since that loss week 3 to St. Ignatius, they have put up at least 41 points every single game. Their defense has pitched a couple of shutouts, and over the last 2 games, Dave, they've combined to only give up 7 points.
Let's take a look at some stars to watch in this matchup tonight. First off, for the Raiders, a young man who is a power running back, but also deceptively fast in LaShawn Daniels.
LaShawn Daniels, 6 foot, 220 pounds, has over 1,400 yards rushing coming into tonight's contest to go along with 13 rushing touchdowns, and he owes a large part of his success to a big offensive line. 6'1", 270-pound average across the front.
Mentor, of course, has a number of weapons on offense, but it's hard to ignore a young man who has produced almost 2,500 yards through the air, and that's their fine senior quarterback in Mitch Trubisky.
Mitch Trubisky also 500 yards rushing to go with that nearly 2,500 yards passing. 28 passing touchdowns versus only 8 interceptions rather, and 9 touchdowns on the ground. So he really is the stir that draws the Cardinals' drink.
So it's the Raiders and the Cardinals Division I, Region I action here in Mentor. We'll have it all for you coming up next right here on Time Warner Cable Sports. Welcome back to Osborne Stadium for Division I, Region I playoff action as the Harding Raiders and the Mentor Cardinals prepare for their playoff opener here at Osborne Stadium. It is another very cool night, but at the outset at least, it is dry here in Mentor tonight. A couple of 9-1 teams doing battle tonight, and a great rivalry renewed in terms of the athletic rivalry. At one time, very briefly, conference rivals in the Lake Erie League, Patrick, but also meeting on the basketball court as recently as last spring when Warren Harding had a big win in regional action at Cleveland State, derailing the Mentor Cardinals' hopes of getting back to Columbus. So these 2 schools very familiar with one another.
Yeah, they have played a number of big games, both basketball and football, over the course of the years, and Jeff Casella saying that Steve Trevisano's first real signature win was in his first year against a state-ranked Harding football program, so definitely a good, strong rivalry.
Looking forward to bringing this one to you tonight. Let's take a look at our officials for the game. William Holler will be your referee tonight. Greg Shimmick, John Durst, Ricky Dilliard, and Robert. Saturday night, the Mentor Cardinals won the coin toss and deferred to the second half. So the Harding Raiders will have the ball first, Patrick, after a season-opening loss against fellow playoff qualifier Austintown Fitch. They have run off 9 straight as we get a look at Steve Trevisano, the Mentor head coach.
And the Cardinals, under Steve Trevisano, working on a 7-game streak of their own, having suffered their only setback in week 3 against St. Ignatius. So both teams certainly qualify as having come in on a roll.
Mike Music with the opening kickoff, and the Harding Raiders will have the opening kickoff returned out close to the 20-yard line, and that's where they will get things started on this very chilly night here in Mentor. Kente Johnson on the return. We'll take a look at the Raiders starting lineup. Lamar Carmichael, just a junior at quarterback, and of course we talked about him in the open, LaShawn Daniels.
Carmichael in his first year starting as a quarterback, 6 touchdowns this season, no interceptions. How's that for taking care of the football? And there is your offensive line, averaging 6'1", 270 pounds.
Very stout offensive front for the Harding Raiders. Daniels, the first carry, gets out to the 25. We'll take a look at the Mentor Cardinals defense, and there's Kent Berger making a name for himself as a junior at defensive end.
But you can see no seniors there.
One of the things they'll do, they'll lull you to sleep with that run, and then all of a sudden
a young group that has continually gotten better as the year has gone on defensively for the Cardinals.
Saw that 5-man secondary alignment, little screen pass, caught by Myquan Dorsey, and he has first down yardage out to the 41-yard line. They go with a little screen pass, Patrick, and nicely dumped off by Carmichael.
Dorsey releases off the edge. Carmichael rolls out to the near side, and the 200-pounder rumbles for a first down.
Well, as the head coach Steve Arnold says, Carmichael makes the smart plays at quarterback. Movement on the line, that'll get our first flag. That didn't take long, partner.
Well, so long as the flags are deserved, we don't mind them flying in. There you see offsides, the guilty party, Delvon Maddox for the Cardinals, jumping a little quick off the edge.
So they'll move it ahead to the 46-yard line, just underway on our Game of the Week coverage, the second half of our weekend doubleheader. The big school division getting underway tonight in Division I around the state. This will be Daniels, and he shakes a tackler, gets out across midfield as he gets into the second level, and they run him out of bounds near the Mentor 46-yard line.
Daniels, one of 7 Ohio high school players committed to play college football at Boston College beginning next season, included in that group Drew Barksdale from Solon, the standout receiver, quarterback, defensive back, and Kevin Kavalik, the tremendous defensive end for St. Ignatius.
Now straight ahead there, just a short pickup. They're looking at a long second down. You see Steve Arnold. Wonder if you go back in Ohio high school history, how many guys from one year to the next go from coaching varsity basketball to varsity football. And can't be often.
And make the playoffs in consecutive years in both sports. That's quite a tremendous accomplishment.
Yeah, testament to his ability to motivate. 9:40 to go, first quarter, no score. They'll go to the air. This one is caught. Nice stick by the Cardinals. Hauled down by Lamar Freeman, the 6'2" senior. And to hold on to that football after taking that hit, Patrick, from Jalen Dowdy, that took a lot of concentration.
Well, and Dowdy pretty much carried Freeman for about 3 yards.
Reminds me of the old Hollies song, "He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother."
Going into the wind, the passes tend to hang up in the air a little bit more, and that's certainly the case right now.
Carmichael again dumps that one off, carried after the catch by John Coleman. Coleman, the fullback, and he knew what to do with it after he caught it.
You have to like the way that Harding has come out here in this first drive and really spread the ball around. They have forced the Mentor Cardinals to be aware of already 6 different skill players.
So it's 1st and 10. The football out at the 33-yard line. They'll go back to Daniels on first down. LaShawn Daniels, 1,400 yards on the season, averaging 6 yards a carry, 13 touchdowns, entering week number 11. Interesting thing about Daniels, as we heard from Steve Arnold, is his resiliency as the game gets into the 3rd and 4th quarter. He's still popping up, and the guys who have been hitting him all night seem to get up a little slower.
Yeah, he says very simply, guys just get tired of hitting him.
Carmichael hit and pressured as he was throwing. That one is incomplete. Justin McMahon on the defensive coverage for the Cardinals.
McMahon, the linebacker, forcing the action that time. And a blitz right up the middle forces a poor throw.
There you see the Raiders huddle. 9-1, 7-0, champions of the Lake Erie League. They are the number 5 seed in this region.
Carmichael's looking to throw.
Carmichael again will dump it off. The fullback again makes the catch. John Coleman.
He's tripped up just down at the 11-yard.
Coleman angling to the middle of the field, has first down yardage just outside the 10.
What an excellent job by the quarterback, Lamar Carmichael, that time. Patiently awaits the defense and awaits for Coleman. You see he's engaging Berger on a block, and then he just simply slips out into the flat, and the big fella is hard to bring down.
It'll be on the 13-yard line. They can get a first down at the 3, 1st and 10. Carmichael again. They love that rollout. The screen pass. It's caught. It goes for a touchdown. Yalta Froholt, the receiver, on the catch, and then he rumbles in, and it's a 13-yard touchdown strike. And the Harding Raiders, Patrick, march down the field very impressively, and they put 6 on the board.
A very methodical 4.5-minute drive. They started inside their own 20.
Quarter number 1 as they line up for the extra point.
Dominic Jones, the 5'9" senior, will attempt the extra point for the Raiders. And he hits a line drive right through the upright. 7.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. And a 13-yard touchdown to Froholt, the tight end. We'll see it right here. A little rollout.
And again, making the reads easier for Carmichael, giving him the run-pass option, and he finds Froholt.
7-0. The Raiders leading it. They last played Mentor back in 2010 when both were members of the Lake Erie League, and Mentor won that game here at Osborne Stadium 28-13. A good start for the visitors. And the Cardinals will get their first crack at the Raiders defense. Great to have you with us tonight for coverage of high school football. We saw a terrific game last evening, partner, out in Aurora. If you haven't seen the replay of that game and you haven't read the papers or been on the internet or listened to the radio,
or maybe you did see the score in the newspaper and you wanted to see what happened with the game, in which Aurora trailed until midway through the 4th quarter, then lost the lead temporarily and got it back in the closing minutes to defeat New Philadelphia 35-32.
On the return for Mentor, Eddie Doherty, the sophomore, just 5'5", but a terrific return man. We saw him earlier in the season when we covered the Mentor Solon game. He had some electrifying returns on kickoffs and punts, and brings it out to the 29-yard line. That's where the Cardinals will take over. We'll see. I was trying to give a spoiler alert for the folks who may not have known the score, but you kind of let the cat out of the bag there that Aurora came out on top by 3. But what a great high school football game on Friday night. Trubisky, number 10, a Mr. Football candidate, one of 2 here in Lake County. Kareem Hunt with Willoughby South being the other. Trubisky wings it out near side, and it is incomplete. And I believe he was looking for Connor Krasanzik, number 5. And it'll be 2nd down and 10. There's that offensive lineup for the Mentor Cardinals, coached by Steve Trevisano. Fritz and Krasanzik, 2 of their top receivers.
DeLisa developing into a very nice rushing option.
Brandon Short at center, anchoring that offensive line. Trubisky finds Krasanzik right on the sideline. He gets out of bounds just across the 35-yard line. Defensive starters for the Harding Raiders: Howard, Craig, Froholt, the tight end who caught the touchdown pass, also doubles as a defensive tackle. There's your secondary. Trubisky will run it, ankle tackle before he reaches the 40-yard line. Nice job by Roger Craig, the 5'10 senior.
Trubisky squeaks out the first down.
7:04 to go. They move the chains and restart the clock. We're in the first quarter, 7-0 Raiders. This will be DeLisa carrying it. He's a terrific senior wide out slash running back, as we see him most games carrying the ball very effectively.
Inside handoff. The line gets to the 2nd level, but watch the hit by Campbell. Rather, Jalen Powell. 6'2", 190, a tremendous player at safety.
Trubisky, the keeper, gets across midfield and should have the first down. It was 2nd and a long 1, close to 2nd and 2. Trubisky gets him another first down. DeLisa averaging 8 yards a carry and has scored 10 touchdowns on the ground. Also a threat to catch the ball, 24 catches on the season and 6 more touchdowns. Trubisky deep downfield, caught. Brandon Fritz, the junior, 6'4", goes up the ladder to get that one, his first catch of the night. Fritz with his 43rd reception of the season.
Just a quick out, and then a nice tackle one-on-one by Deontay Morgan. The Raiders, with 5 wide receivers on the field for Mentor, playing man coverage on every single one of them.
Empty backfield, Trubisky to throw it, middle of the field. That pass is caught, yardage after the catch, and that one is going to go in for the touchdown. He was hit right at the goal line, but he makes it in. Kyron Zemak, the sophomore. Pardon me, that's Corey Plavkin, the receiver. He got duped by those double numbers on the roster, Patrick. Corey Plavkin, the junior wideout, 5'11", 155, the catch and run. And the PAT coming up as they will try and tie this one up. DeLisa is the holder. Here is the kick. It is up, and it is good as Mike Music kicks that one through, and we are tied at 7. We'll check the replay here on the pass completion to Corey Plavkin.
Trubisky sets and fires, strong overhand throw, and the missed tackle in the open field opens the door for the 37-yard scoring strike.
Well, for Plavkin, that's his 24th catch of the year and just his 2nd touchdown. And what a great time to get touchdown number 2 as the Cardinals tie it up here in the first quarter, 7-7. Well, not only are the Cardinals and Raiders tied on the scoreboard, almost tied in total yards on those first 2 drives.
Each team taking their first opportunity and going all the way down the field and putting it in the end zone for a touchdown.
Harding will prepare to get the ball back after the kickoff by Mike Music. Well, Mitch Trubisky, everything is advertised, Patrick, as he comes out, engineers a scoring drive. Most of it through the air. Just outside the numbers and running room down the sideline. Kente Johnson into Mentor territory, just short of the 30-yard line before they can bring him down, and the Raiders will start on the Mentor 31.
A 50-yard return. Great move by Johnson to make the first guy miss, and then tremendous speed. Watch the move to the inside. I'm going here. Nope, see ya. And 50 yards later, if the kicker wasn't in his way, he'd have still been running, but he's finally tracked down.
It was indeed Music who stopped that one from going all the way to the end zone. Daniels gets across the 30, a short gain for LaShawn Daniels. As Patrick alluded to earlier, headed to Boston College to play his football at the next level. Second down and 8, 2-yard pickup. The football resting at the 29. A great crowd on the visitor's side driving over from Warren to support the Raiders. Daniels again straight up the middle. We heard about that power running style, and that time he runs over a couple of guys, Patrick, and picks up a few more to the 23.
Sam Elliott on the left side, 6'1", 280 pounds, number 66. Got a big block.
6 yards on the pickup that time, and it's 3rd down and 2. Split out 2 receivers to the right. That is Freeman and Qualls.
And he's going to barrel across the 20-yard line.
Get inside the red zone here as they hand it to the fullback, John Coleman. Plavkin, a touchdown reception for the Cardinals. And Froholt, a touchdown catch for the Raiders. That's where we stand right now at 7-7. Approaching the 4-minute mark of the first quarter. Carmichael is the quarterback, drops back to throw into the end zone and out of the end zone. Intended for Aaron Qualls, but that one incomplete.
Qualls running a stop and go. Carmichael selling it with the pump fake, but then the delivery just a little bit too deep.
Well, as far as rushing defense, Patrick, Mentor giving up 155 yards a game. They have bent a little in that area. The Cardinals themselves known mostly as a passing team, but averaging over 200 yards rushing per game themselves. Daniels up the middle. Nice move to the outside, and he is in. Touchdown, LaShawn Daniels, his 14th of the season.
It's now 13-7 in favor of the Raiders.
The Raiders score again, 2 for 2, scoring touchdowns on their first 2 possessions. They'll try and extend the lead back to 7. Point after touchdown is coming up. Dominic Jones, the senior kicker.
And the kick by Jones.
Here is the kick. It is up and it is good, and it is 14-7. We are potentially in for a shootout tonight. We'll take a look at the touchdown again.
Look at great feet here on display by the big fella. Scoots through the hole and then has the speed to turn the corner and outrace the secondary to the pylon.
You see Daniels celebrating there on the replay. Mentor will get the ball back momentarily. We'll take time to thank the Cruisin' 50s Diner in Mentor for sponsoring tonight's broadcast, and over some great dinner for our crew tonight. If you want to take a trip back to the days of muscle cars and Elvis, then you need to stop by the Cruisin' 50s Diner while you're enjoying. Eddie Doherty is back deep to receive for the Mentor Cardinals. Also back there is LaShawn Moore, the senior. We were looking at the Cardinals warming up, Patrick. They have tremendous numbers in their program, as you would expect from the largest high school in the state of Ohio. Now, that one is out of bounds, but I believe it was knocked out of bounds by Doherty.
Yeah, not a great decision by Doherty. I thought he a little bit obstructed our view here right near that sideline, but it appeared as though he fielded the ball cleanly just beyond the 10-yard line, and then it was close to the sideline, and his first step was out of bounds. So not good field position here for the Cardinals to start their second offensive possession.
Oh, there was.
Yeah, that's a ball that the young man simply has to let go, and I'm sure the sophomore will be reminded of that on the sideline.
So after the holding penalty is marked off from the 16, they mark it back to the 6-yard line, and that's where the Cardinals will start. 3 out of 4 so far for the All-State candidate Mitch Trubisky.
And has also picked up a couple of big first downs with his legs.
Trubisky will keep it, try to get him some running room. He gets it, and more out across the 15 near the 20-yard line on the quarterback keeper.
15-yard run by Trubisky. And a great move, and again, the athleticism to get through the line initially and the speed to get to the outside.
14-7 Raiders, 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Krzyzanczyk goes in motion, and Trubisky keeps it again. They are going to keep it simple on the first 2 plays and just leave it in the hands of their field general, Mitch Trubisky. Out to the 25-yard line now, 2nd down and 5. Trubisky as a runner, 461 yards coming in with 9 rushing touchdowns. He is a very effective option on the ground as well. Shotgun snap. Krzyzanczyk the catch. And out of bounds across the 30, and that's good for the first down.
Kevin Vingel, number 12, making the stop near the sideline for the Raiders. And again, Harding showing excellent skill at being able to bring down these slippery receivers right at the point of the catch and not allowing big yards afterwards.
Well, that's what we saw from Plavkin earlier. They get it to him again. Plavkin makes the catch on the slant and is tackled right at the hash mark, and that should be good for another first down. They get to the 43-yard line.
Plavkin lined up right side. You can see on a rope that ball delivered right at the number 8.
1st and 10 from the Cardinals 43. They'll give it to Krzyzanczyk. Krzyzanczyk, just a junior, 6'2", 190.
I thought it interesting talking to Coach Arnold this week. He said, we know that the Mentor Cardinals are going to make plays. He said the key for us is to drop that play right there and not carry a big Mentor play with us. We have to just think about the next play and get back to our assignment.
Krzyzanczyk, well, let's see who caught it. In stride, big yardage. This is going to go for a touchdown. It's DeLisa making the grab and all the way in for the touchdown of 48 yards. 2:03 to go in the first quarter. Check that, a 52-yard strike to Nick DeLisa. DeLisa, his 7th touchdown reception of the season, and the Cardinals strike back again. It is 14-13, and the extra point is blocked. Coming in to get a piece of that one, I believe, was Ty Howard, number 85. We'll take a look at the touchdown pass from Trubisky to DeLisa. It was to the far side of the field.
DeLisa escapes and has a little wheel route to the far side. The downfield receivers had really cleared out the interference, and then a great job to weave through the traffic for 52 yards and the score.
So Plavkin and DeLisa on the receiving end. We'll need to have our track shoes on, and that was certainly the case right there as DeLisa made the catch, and then the sprint was on.
Well, when you have 4 touchdowns scored in less than 10 minutes to open the contest, that should tell you just what you need to know about what the pace of this game will be as it progresses through the evening.
Mike Music booms that one into the end zone, and the touchback will come out to the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Big wins for the Raiders over Warren Howland and Cardinal Mooney.
Yeah, the Mooney game was especially impressive. I thought in that game Mooney took the opening kick, went right down the field and scored, and they did not score again, Cardinal Mooney, until midway through the 4th quarter. The Harding Raiders really shut down the vaunted Mooney run game.
Daniels with his 7th carry of the night. You saw his numbers so far in the game. It's out to the 26-yard line, 2nd down and 4. For the Raiders, their 9th overall tournament appearance. 15-6 all time. They are looking for their school's 2nd state championship. They won it all back in 1990.
As you see Daniels get out to the 28-yard line, he will be shy of the 1st down. The evening of the Cardinal Mooney game at Mollenkopf Stadium in Warren, they were honoring the 1972 Warren Western Reserve State Championship team. Great ceremony taking place during halftime and prior to the game that evening.
Under a minute to go in the 1st quarter. There you see Warren Harding 3 out of 3 on 3rd down, and they're very close to being 4 out of 4 as Coleman carries it to try and get them the 1st down. Patrick Pearson has already signaled 1st down up here, and so like good soldiers, the chain gang follows suit.
Well, it was a touchback on the kick, which meant the possession started at the 20. All you have to do is get the nose of the football to the 30-yard line, and they didn't get a whole lot more than that, but they did at least accomplish that much.
It is so much easier in this game when you can just count by tens. 30 seconds to go, 1st quarter. They go to the air again. Pass was intended for Dorsey, who could not quite haul that one in. He had a nice catch on a similar screen pass earlier in the quarter. And clock stops with 27 seconds left in the opening quarter here. 14-13 Raiders.
That pass just a little bit high for the senior as you take a look at Steve Arnold. Knit cap on. It is that kind of night. Temperature in the low 40s at kickoff. Expected to drop into the 30s throughout game time.
Steve seemed a little locked in on the field before the game. Downfield incomplete. A little overthrown there. Again, Mike Juan Dorsey was the intended target. So 3rd and 10.
This is the longest 3rd down that the Cardinals, or that the Raiders have had to try to convert tonight. They have taken care of their first 4 on 3rd down. And with the wind blowing into their faces still as the 1st quarter draws to an end, this one looks to be the most challenging.
Football marked at the 30-yard line. 3rd down and 10. Get 3 receivers in the game for Carmichael, the quarterback. And now he thinks about trying to run it up the middle. He saw a hole for a moment, Patrick, but it closed quickly. And it's a 4th down for the Raiders, and for the first time tonight, they will have to punt it away. That will likely be the final play of the 1st quarter.
3 seconds to go in the 1st quarter.
And that's exactly what it will be. First quarter is history here in this Division I Region I playoff matchup. Warren Harding leading Mentor 14-13. Second quarter action coming up next. One-point lead for the Raiders of Warren Harding High School. One of these teams tonight will earn its 10th win of the season. Both are 9-1. David Wilson, Patrick Pearson in the catbird seat. Josh Williams on stats. Punt coming up for the Raiders as it is booted away. Fair catch called for and taken by Nick DeLisa of the Cardinals. DeLisa had the touchdown reception, along with Corey Plavkin. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, it was Froholt on a touchdown catch and LaShawn Daniels on a touchdown run. Those are your 4 touchdowns tonight, but 1 blocked extra point, and it's 14-13. Warren Harding.
Harding's punt signified the first offensive possession of the night that did not result in a touchdown.
Trubisky, empty backfield, 5 receivers. This one deep downfield. Fritz has it. This is going to go for a touchdown. He is all the way to the pylon, and there's your touchdown. Sprinting down the sideline, Trubisky hit him right in stride.
The officials were well behind that play, and I'm honestly not sure if he made it into the end zone. But there was nobody down there to argue, really. Let's take a look. Receivers don't get any more wide open than Brandon Fritz on this play. Now there's coverage coming with the angle, and I guess he clipped the pylon there, although again a little bit of an obstructed view. 62 yards on the touchdown.
Trubisky to Fritz. Brandon Fritz, his 11th receiving touchdown of the season. Cardinals will go for 2. Trubisky to throw it. It's Fritz, and it was low. He could not hang on to it. 19-14, a 5-point lead for the Mentor Cardinals. So 20 seconds into the second quarter, they receive the punt, and then Mitch Trubisky connects with Brandon Fritz on the touchdown pass, his 3rd of the night. Trubisky now 31 touchdown passes. And Patrick, how is that for a stat line to start the game? 7 of 8, 186 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Well, if you recall, against Solon, Mitch Trubisky had over 400 total yards at halftime. Had 260 plus yards through the air and closing in on 140 running. It for Mr. Football.
Yeah, other than the things you mentioned, he was really not much of a factor that night against the Comets. Raiders will get the ball back and try and answer in kind. It's a short kick. It'll be taken by an upback on a fair catch. Kevin Bingle secures that one.
The Raiders trailing for the first time here this evening.
Well, the Mentor defense comes back out, anchored by Kent Berger. Very nice article in the game notes written by Bill Tilton, our co-host on Varsity Sports Preview. Another terrific defensive end wearing number 36 here at Mentor. There's Daniels. Boy, he fights his way into the second level and gets out to the 40-yard line. 10-yard pickup. Very close to the first down, but maybe just inches short, Patrick.
This is a drive where the Raiders need that big offensive line to start clearing out some space and let Daniels do his thing. They have to be able to keep this Mentor offense on the sidelines and put some points on the board.
Breaking tackles, Daniels refusing to go down. And he gets into Mentor territory. Boy, that is a testament to the grit of that young man as he carried the Cardinals with him all the way to the 46-yard line.
Watch this run and try to tackle the big fella up high is a very difficult proposition.
He never went to the turf, Patrick. He was out of bounds and ended up just walking away from the play. Daniels this time tripped up right up the middle. Started to mention a moment ago Kent Berger, number 36 for the Mentor Cardinals, the defensive end. Following in the footsteps of a couple of terrific defensive ends who also wore number 36 for the Cardinals, Ben Pike, who's now a starter at the University of Toledo, and Tom Strobel, who is playing football at Michigan, although redshirting this year. Option flip to Daniels. That play just did not develop the way the Raiders wanted. It'll bring about third down.
The Cardinal defense flows to the football and simply gets to the point of attack first. And they are there with numbers to really tie up that option pitch.
Well, we saw the option used very effectively last night by Aurora.
4 of 5 on third down tonight are the Raiders.
There's the pitch again, out to Daniels, has the first down, gets across the 35-yard line.
Great block out front by the fullback John Coleman as he springs that play and allows Daniels to pick up another first down. The Raiders now 5 of 6 on the night, converting third down.
Answering the bell on those pressure plays, 19-14 Mentor, 9.5 minutes to go before halftime. Raiders putting another effective drive together. First man through, the fullback Coleman gets the carry and is tripped up at the 30-yard line. Well, Patrick, we've always enjoyed coming out here and doing games at Mentor's Osborne Stadium. Terrific program by Steve Trevisano, who's built this into one of the state's best. Great atmosphere, always welcomed with open arms by Jeff Casella and his staff. So it's great to be here tonight for this terrific matchup in Division I, Region 1. Carmichael eludes a potential sack and then lowers his helmet and just delivers a blow as he gets over near the sideline.
Will be about a half-yard short of the first down, but a great job by Carmichael of making tacklers miss. First in the backfield, then on the edge, and as you said, put the shoulder pads down low at the end of this run. Here's pressure in the backfield. He gets away, makes one more guy miss, and then, ooh.
Coleman has the first down. There's another third down conversion as Coleman gets him a new set of plays on 3rd and 1. Well, Carmichael set out last week with a bruised knee.
You wouldn't know it by the way he's performed here tonight.
Ball is on the 20, 1st and 10. Raiders operating in Mentor territory. Division I, Region 1. What a power-packed field of 8. Movement on the line, that'll bring out flags.
And a 10-yard penalty. That's for a run-oriented team like the Raiders. 1st and 20 is a whole different ball game compared to 1st and 15 rather. Not a holding penalty. I don't know why I was thinking 10 yards. False start makes it 1st and 15, but you're talking about a team that is consistently picking up 4-yard chunks, and they're able to pick up the first down or bring up 3rd and very short after the first couple.
Carmichael lost the handle on it and then falls on the football to secure the possession, but that'll go for more negative yards back to the 30-yard line. So they need to get to the 10 for a first down. So now they're looking at a long second down.
See, I knew it was going to be 20 yards to go. You guys just didn't believe me.
We were just prognosticating.
The Raiders have been successful tonight in rolling Carmichael out.
Raiders are going to take a timeout here and did not have the personnel or the matchups they wanted. You can hear the coaches up here yelling for the timeout. So with 6:59 to go in the second quarter, it's 19-14 Mentor. Our game tonight brought to you in part by the Cruisin' 50s Diner in
Tuscadero fan myself.
Was Pinky Tuscadero at Happy Days? Is that right?
Yep.
She the Fonz's girlfriend?
Something like that.
Or one of many. 19-14. Back to throw Carmichael. Goes up top. That pass knocked away. Nicely done on the defensive coverage by Jalen Dowdy. Intended target was Jalen Powell. And Powell, I think, was very shocked that that ball was knocked away. He was ready to make the grab.
Dowdy using all of his 6'3" frame to slap that one away.
You can almost see the body language of Powell there, as if to say, where did you come from? 19-14 Cardinals, 5-point lead. Carmichael looking for another 6, and it's incomplete. Again, looking downfield and trying to hit a running target in the end zone. That was Lamar Freeman trying to run under that one. It had plenty of distance to it.
I'm a little bit surprised that facing 3rd and 20, that the Raiders, even knowing they were going to go for it on 4th down, didn't try to pick up some of the yardage on 3rd down instead of trying to go for it all on 3rd and 20. So now 4th and 20, and we'll have a timeout once again called by the Raiders.
So 4th down and 20 yards to go. Well, if you are in Steve Arnold's shoes right now, do you go ahead and maybe take another shot to the end zone?
The catch.
Well, there is little doubt that pinning Mentor back deep doesn't have the same effect as it does on most teams because they are so explosive offensively. Raiders down by 5 and going for it on 4th and 20. Carmichael again downfield. That one is well out of bounds. Looking for Freeman again. Same play, and the Cardinals had that defended very nicely. Step for step on the defensive coverage was Mason McHenrick. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Cardinals will take over, leading it by 5. Take a look at the number of plays run in this game. Harding the decided advantage, but Mentor has had a couple of big hits on their way to a 5-point lead. Glad you're with us tonight for high school football.
Yes, when 3 out of your 14 offensive plays wind up going for a touchdown, that's a pretty good ratio.
Trubisky with the 5-receiver set. Little screen over the middle. Krasancic has it. Still looking upfield, trying to let the blocking develop, and he gets to the 45 and out of bounds. In fact, he crosses the 45. They'll give him the 46-yard line.
Trubisky patient, waits for that play to develop as Krasancic comes across the formation.
Great offensive line for the Cardinals, giving Trubisky lots of time to throw all season. DeLisa gets the carry here, and there he goes. Breaks into the second level, ran into his own man. You might want to give the tackle to Matt Schaefer as DeLisa ran right into him.
And then DeLisa takes a big hit. I don't think that chain's legal. That's one heck of a chin strap, I gotta say.
Usually would only bring that out in a close game in the fourth quarter. Trubisky to DeLisa, running room over the middle of the field. Down across the 25, shakes a tackle, he'll go in, it'll be a touchdown, 43 yards. No flags on the play. Cardinals extend the lead out to 11 now. 25-14 as Nick DeLisa scores his second touchdown of the game. They're going to say he was out of bounds. Stepped out of bounds at the 9-yard line.
The crowd cheered, the band began to play. I thought it was a touchdown, but we were one play early.
9-yard pass. They go right back to DeLisa, throwing across to the wide side of the field, and this time he is in.
Nick DeLisa's second touchdown reception of the night. And 32 now on the season for Mitch Trubisky.
Well, it looked like on the play before he got in, they said he had stepped out of bounds, and so they throw to him on the next play, and he gets in from 9. Trubisky will go for 2 here with the Cardinals. He'll roll to the left side. DeLisa cannot haul that one down. And so it stays 25-14 with 5:58 to go. We'll see that long run again by DeLisa on the play where it appeared he got in but stepped out. It was ruled at the 9-yard line. This was some great running by DeLisa. It got him on the doorstep, and then they scored on the next play. We'll see this whole play develop right here, Patrick, on the crossing route, and he just keeps on going.
Great move, and then a broken tackle there. Let's look. There is the step at the 9-yard line that got him called out of bounds.
Another short kick. Taken again, the up back, Kevin Vingle, and tried to return it this time. He called for a fair catch the last time that kick came his way, and he's wiped out at the 30-yard line. Raiders will come back out, 25-14 Metter. They have come back with 2 quick touchdowns to assume a double-digit lead here in this Region 1 first-round matchup.
The Raiders, a punt and a turnover on downs on their last 2 possessions, and they desperately need to regain their scoring ways.
Well, this is the guy who will help them do it, LaShawn Daniels. Well, what we saw early, Patrick, was a lot of diversification by the Raiders as on their first drive. They were spreading the ball around, a lot of different guys getting involved, and since then it has been primarily Daniels carrying the football.
When Carmichael had success through the air, it was on short passes, slant routes, and quick outs, and I think that's what they need to get back to, although as they try that here, the pass goes well over the head of Jalen Powell and will bring up a 3rd down and 8.
Well, the Raiders primarily a running team, but Carmichael with 870 passing yards through 6 touchdown passes during the regular season, no interceptions.
Warren Harding 6 of 8 tonight on 3rd down.
Looking at a 3rd and 8 right here. Daniels in the backfield with Carmichael. Gets rid of it quickly, and the receiver fell down. That was Freeman, the intended target. He slipped at about the 42, which would have been in 1st down territory, but the ball went sailing away after Freeman slipped down, and a punt coming up for the Warren Harding Raiders with just over 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. End over end kick will bounce to DeLisa. Midfield and out of bounds in Harding territory. Well, they were hoping for that end over end kick to get a Warren Harding bounce, but 25-14. That is Krasancic in motion. They'll throw it to Krasancic. Now, did he hang on to it?
From here, it looked like a good catch to me. I thought he juggled it, but then had his hands under it as he went to the turf, and the officials agree it'll be a short gain, but credit Krasancic with a very nice catch.
3-yard pickup on the nice catch. We'll see it again right here.
The ball gets in on him and he pops it up, but his hands can, oh. Boy, the replay showed maybe not, huh?
We'll try to take a look at that again in a moment. Trubisky running it as he gets run out of bounds just short of the first down marker. It'll be 3rd down and 2. This pass might have touched the turf, Patrick.
Does it go through his hands and get to the turf? Tough to tell. I think if replay were in order, there would not have been conclusive evidence to overturn that play.
Now Krasancic gets the first down, running it, turning the corner and picking up about 5 yards on 3rd and 2, so it's a first down for Metter. Well, the Raiders came out and took the early lead in this game and had a 14-13 lead. They have been stopped by the Mentor defense on their last 3 possessions. Flags come out all over the place. The pass out of bounds was actually picked off by the Raiders.
Contact between Raiders safety Jalen Powell and Nick DeLisa.
Cardinals are clapping. They have a holding call against the Raiders. So the ball will be moved ahead. It'll be first down for the Mentor Cardinals. On the holding call, getting the chain set, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line.
For the Raiders 21-yard line. 25-14, they lead it. 4:12 to go in quarter number 2.
Trubisky will have some company in the backfield here. DeLisa lines up as a running back.
Takes the snap.
They'll go to DeLisa. Hits the line of scrimmage, and they bottle him up that time. Clock moving with 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Well, Patrick, you have a tall order if you're the defensive coordinator trying to game plan something for Mentor. Trying to control 5 different wide receivers who also, many of which can run it effectively. Trubisky will drop back to throw. Pressure coming. He gets the ball to DeLisa. Makes a defender miss. That time he does not step out of bounds, and he goes in for his 3rd touchdown.
A killer of a missed tackle on that pass. Trubisky slipped as he delivered it, but still managed to fire a strike to DeLisa.
Yeah, watch Trubisky go down here. Still put it right on target.
And the missed tackle leads to 6 points.
31-14. Kick coming up for Mike Music for the extra point. Kick is on the way. Looks like he splits the uprights with that one. That makes it a 32-14, 3:29 to go. Another short kick, and it will be recovered by the Raiders. Very close to Mentor being able to recover that kick as it took a high hop. Went well over the 10-yard minimum. Great job by Bingle to hold on to that one. He is the designated up-back recipient of those short kicks.
Todd Green did his best to knock that ball free, but a great job to recover the kick.
Daniels powering his way forward and picks up close to 7, maybe 8 yards on the play. Gets out to the 42. It'll be 2nd down and 2.
The Raiders used 2 timeouts on that last drive, so 3 minutes to go here in the half. They have only 1 timeout. They need to be going quickly to the line every play.
Carmichael will give it to Daniels. Tries to sprint through the right side and is tripped up at the 46-yard line. It's good for a 1st down. Mitch Trubisky just 1 touchdown shy of tying his personal career best, which is 6 touchdown passes in a game.
I find it hard to believe, although given the source, if Bill hands me a note, I'm sure that Bill Tilton's note is correct. But it would surprise me. Career low is, or career record is only 6 touchdown passes in a game.
Patrick, here is the problem developing for Warren Harding, and that is that as a predominantly running team, not an electrifying passing attack, it makes it very tough for a team to come back from a deficit like this when they are more a methodical running approach.
Yeah, this is going to have to be a game that is.
Here's the lateral to Daniels. This one breaks out big yardage. Great play by Carmichael, as it appeared that he was going to keep it, and at the last second flipped it backwards to Daniels.
And this is well beyond the line of scrimmage before Carmichael makes the pitch, but Daniels is ready for it, and a devastating stiff arm at the end as they get down to the 17-yard line.
Well, Daniels perhaps a little energized by that play as he gets inside the 15-yard line, a pickup of 2.
This is a game that the Raiders defense will have to win by creating a couple of turnovers and letting their offense cash those in. I simply don't see any way that the Menor Cardinal offense is going to all of a sudden grind to a halt in the second half. They will get the ball to open the second half. This drive is vitally important for the Raiders. Flag on the play, false start will be marked off. They have to convert a touchdown here. I don't think that you can take even a field goal, realizing that would at least make it then a 2-score game. But they have to be able to put touchdowns up on the board, and their defense is going to have to give them extra opportunities in the second half.
Working with 1 timeout, 1:15 to go. The penalty marks it back to the 20-yard line. So precious little time. They will give the football to Daniels. He is their meal ticket on this terrific 9-1 season that they have going, and he gets to the 15. They have not used the timeout yet. 50 seconds to go. Kent Berger recorded the tackle for the Cardinals. He gets to the 16, and it's 3rd down and 9. Now 40 seconds left in the first half. Lamar Carmichael rolls out to throw it. Now he will run it and gets to the 10 and picks up close to 6 yards. Clock continues to move, and they stop it with a timeout. 22 seconds left.
10-0 this season. No doubt the future continues to look bright.
They will pitch it to Daniels. Faked a halfback option pass and going for it on 4th and 3. He does not make it. They needed to get to the 8, and he was stopped just inside the 10.
Daniels pulled up and appeared ready to deliver the halfback option pass. There he is. And then by the time he gets moving north and south again, the pursuit is there to stop him shy of the first down.
Looked like number 30, Justin McMahon, made the stop with immediate help from the rest of the Cardinals. Cardinals and short. Matt Kovacic and Mitch Morrison giving Trubisky lots and lots of time to throw in that first half, as we are underway now in the second half.
The Raiders attempting an onside kick to begin the second half. Again, I think they are going to have to continue to take chances throughout this second half. Squib kick gets a good bounce, and it looked as though Powell had an opportunity to maybe grab possession of that, but the Cardinals come away with it. It'll be 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line.
Third quarter just getting underway. Glad you're with us tonight for high school football action. Rain started at halftime and is still falling out there. Already very chilly tonight in Mentor. DeLisa hits the hole and gets across midfield on the first play of the drive. Second down coming up for the Mentor Cardinals. DeLisa with 3 touchdown receptions in the first half.
The rain starting to come down fairly heavy at halftime here at Jerome T. Osborne Stadium, and maybe the Raiders, one of the only entities that think that that might be a good thing, because maybe that will help them create a couple of turnovers and they can turn the tide of this ball game.
Well, Trubisky gets the first down on the scramble, and again, good protection. They were able to keep Roger Craig from getting to Trubisky, and then he had plenty of time to run and scampered for the first down.
Craig quite upset that there was no holding called on that play, as he was trying to put on the rush.
Second, or I should say 1st and 10. The football is marked at the 46-yard line of the Raiders. Trubisky again will be forced to run it, and he gets out of bounds over on the Warren Harding sideline. Trubisky, number 10. 5 touchdown passes in the first half. Headed to North Carolina to play college football next year. DeLisa straight up the middle, good running room, takes a big hit applied by Jalen Powell. The Raiders knocked off the Cardinals on the hardwood in the spring. Brandon Fritz, Connor Krasanzik, members of that basketball team. Of course, Connor's father, the great head coach of the Cardinals, Bob Krasanzik. They were very disappointed at that loss, and both players said, hey, it doesn't matter if it's on the football field or not. We look at this as a little chance at redemption after that tough loss last spring. Trubisky at 2nd down and 5. They will throw it, caught by Schaefer out near the 20-yard line, his first catch of the night. Good for 3, and in fact they might give him the 19 here. It's a favorable spot, and it may be close to the first down. They might take a look at this, Patrick.
Well, let's see. Forward progress. Looked like it was legitimately the 19, but still just short of the first down.
Krasanzik goes in motion. Trubisky. He will run it. Nice cut back, and he is headed toward the 5, and he will go in. Boy, he tiptoes in, and Trubisky now has a hand in 6 touchdowns on the night. That one on the ground. 19-yard touchdown run for Mitch Trubisky. Boy, he covered a lot of real estate on this one as we see it again.
Well, you saw the run starts to the left-hand side, and then he cuts back to the middle, is able to elude Deontay Morgan, and then stretch it into the end zone.
Mike Music will kick it out of the hold of DeLisa. And that one is up, and it is good. The Cardinals extend the lead now to 39-14 as They hit pay dirt on their first possession of the second half.
The Cardinals do not have a scoring drive. Any of them
as successful and as lethal as their offense has been, with a stifling defense to go with it. As Powell brings this one back on the kickoff return, breaks into the open field, 40, hits midfield. Great cutback by Powell, finally caught from behind, and gets to the turf, pushed down from behind by Jalen Dowdy. Great return by Powell, number 2 for the Raiders. And he gets them in good field position to start this drive.
As you say, taken at the 1 yard line. Good job here to find the seam, and then runs through an arm tackle, gets to the outside, and is finally taken down after a 66-yard return.
Here's Daniels, his first carry of the second half, and he nets about 4 on that to finish the thought. Despite all the great things that Minter has done, earning only the number 4 seed in the region, and again, that speaks to the level of competition of all of these teams in Division I, Region 1, now up to 135 yards on the night for Mr. Daniels.
Well, if you look at the 3 teams ahead of Mentor coming into the beginning of the playoffs in Region 1, you talk about the St. Edward Eagles as the number 1 seed. They were undefeated. St. Ignatius, their only loss was to St. Edward, and they defeated Mentor. And then the 3rd seed is 10-0 Willoughby South. So there's not a lot of room to move up for the Cardinals.
Coleman on 3rd and 2 looks to have the first down.
But I think overall, when you look at this Mentor program, they have established themselves as one of the Division I Blue Bloods. I mean, they are a true deep playoff run every single year.
There's little doubt about that. You go back to those back-to-back appearances in the state title game. That has certainly raised the bar and the expectations for the football team here, and they seem to live up to those every year.
Well, obviously Mitch Trubisky will not be here next year, but we talked about the freshman and junior varsity teams going 10-0 this season, plus the returning team, returning talent on the varsity level.
Second down and 6. The football marked at the Mentor 17. Daniels gets the flip, and he is inside the 10, finally pushed out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Boy, he is a fun guy to watch, and he is a punishing runner.
Toss sweep again, Coleman outside. Froholt with a tremendous block, rides his guy to the outside, and Daniels just continues to push the pile powerfully inside the 5.
Coleman, the fullback, trying to finish off the drive from the 4. He did not get in, but he is very close. The side judge standing between the 1 and the goal line. Now the winner of this game will advance to the regional semi against the winner of St. Edward and Mayfield. Who won that game today?
The
Ceto.
Eagles played an afternoon affair at Byers Field, advancing with a quarterfinal victory against the Mayfield Wildcats.
Coleman, no signal yet here.
Twisting, turning, I thought he made it in, but the officials now, there we go.
There's the signal as they untangle the pile, and Coleman has the touchdown. His 12th of the year. The fullback, John Coleman, number 6, scores for the Raiders as they make a statement on that drive that they are not ready to wave the white flag yet. 39-20. 18-point lead. Pardon me, 18-point lead. I can't add.
Well, okay. I don't think that's necessary.
Better on the return. LaShawn Moore, the senior, carrying that one back, number 7.
A big special teams tackle by Ryan Williamson.
Football be marked at the 24-yard line. And in fact, they'll give him the 25. You see the contribution of Mitch Trubisky both on the ground and through the air. Well over 300 yards for the senior quarterback. They'll give it to Krasanzik on the sweep to the near side, and he is run out of bounds. Defensive coverage by Lindell Kimball. Still picks up 4. Second down. We'll call it a long 6. 6.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Playoff opener between the Raiders and the Mentor Cardinals. Fritz drops the football and then is hit and knocked to the turf, but might have heard the footsteps coming there.
Well, the turf and the ball are a little bit wet, so either he heard the footsteps or it's simply.
Third down and 7. The Harding Raiders crowd wanting to see their team make a stop here on third down and get back into this game. Krasanzik makes the catch on the sideline. He's out of bounds, and he looks to be right at the first down marker at the 35-yard line. That's good for the first down. They needed 7. That's exactly what they got. 39-21. Krasanzik gets the handoff, and he has big-time running room. Far side of the field, never brought down. They run him out of bounds in Harding territory.
Flag on the play, though, back near the line of scrimmage, and everybody is moving back. A holding call against the Mentor Cardinals. The last completion by Mitch Trubisky, the start of a new streak. He misfired on his first pass of the night, then completed 13 straight before the drop 2 plays ago.
They walk off the holding call and move it back to the 32-yard line, so it's 1st and 13. Trubisky to throw it. Had a man open downfield, didn't see him. He finds Schaefer on the check down target. Gets some of the holding yardage back out to the 40-yard line. Pickup of 7. Second down and 5 for the Cardinals now behind the senior Mitch Trubisky.
Again, a little bit of pressure on Trubisky. He is forced to roll out.
He'll roll to the left. Downfield, DeLiza wide open. More yardage after the catch, weaving his way into the red zone and finally wiped out near the 5-yard line. Close to a 35-yard pickup, depending where they mark him down. Boy, DeLiza is so elusive after the catch.
Pass again along the sideline, but had plenty of space. Ducks inside, then ducks back outside. Will duck back inside one more time. And finally, it's Jalen Powell, the tremendous safety, that tracks him down.
Defense was ready for that play.
5:19 to go. I believe that was 55 yards on the pass play to DeLiza.
I was going to let you go. You know, you've already admitted your math shortcomings, so I wasn't going to.
The furrowed brow. They're used to seeing. Krasanzik tried to cut it back in. He is cut down at the 6-yard line. That'll lose a yard for the Cardinals.
It's the unspoken language that you and I have after doing games together for so many years.
Well, with Josh Williams behind us, it's so hard to get that immediate flow of information going. And they're pretty efficient on third down, 4 of 4. This one gunned out for DeLisa and incomplete. Defensively, Lamar Freeman there to disrupt that play. Cardinals looking at a 4th and goal from the 6-yard line.
Right on the money, but DeLisa, I think, clearly looking at the oncoming freight train and just lost concentration.
Now DeLisa will get ready to hold it.
I was going to make the comment, how ridiculous is it that it's 4:28 to play in the third quarter. The Cardinals have scored.
Here is the field goal attempt. DeLisa holding it at the 14, so a 24-yard field goal for Mike Music.
The Cardinals had scored to that point 6 touchdowns, and they had only been in 4 third down situations.
42-21 following the field goal for Mike Music. He is perfect on the year, now 4 for 4. (42-21), the Cardinals come away with points once again. Music will kick it short. That one bounces off of the Raiders. It is up for grabs, and it looks like the Harding Raiders have it. Kevin Vingle staying with that one after it bounced off him initially. Raiders come up with it. Very close to being a disaster there.
Well, this one goes through the arms. Vingle is taken out, and it appears as though it's LeBrandon Watson that comes in, number 13, to save the day. Kente Johnson falling on top as well. No reason to not be in a good mood tonight if you are a Mentor Cardinal football fan.
Happy times on the Mentor side here at Osborne Stadium. This one thrown a little bit low. Intended for Coleman, the fullback. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10. We have 4:11 to go here in the third quarter. Steve Trevisano and his staff with a terrific game plan tonight, and that really has not changed the entire season. It's lining up those 5 wideouts and letting Trubisky do his thing. LaShawn Daniels over the right tackle, breaks free for some good yardage, but that'll leave him in a 3rd down situation, out across the 30 to the 31.
Looking across the way at Steve Arnold, the first-year head coach for the Raiders, again taking over after being very successful as the boys basketball coach at Harding. Slid over to the football stadium at Mollenkopf Stadium.
Well, they asked Daniels to get the 1st down, and he's a little bit short. Picked up 2 out to the 33-yard line. They need to get to the 34. 4th down and 1. Well, last night we were at Aurora, Patrick, and I can't remember the exact count of media outlets covering that game. I believe it was 6.
I believe there were 6, yeah.
And I believe we may have equaled that tonight here in Mentor. A lot of interest in this game. Movement on the line. That'll go against the Raiders.
Well, the Cardinals moved first, but that isn't the end-all, be-all, and it's a false start that will be assessed against the Raiders, and this will change the mind of the Harding coaching staff, and instead they will bring out the punt team.
42-21. Right now, these teams separated by 3 touchdowns. Well, they handle the high snap, and the Raiders will down this one near the 45-yard line. We'll see exactly where they mark it. It will be the 45. It's where Menor will start in their own territory.
Tawan Rodriguez scoops up the ball and downs it at the 45.
Cardinals will break huddle. There you see the men in red. Nick DeLisa, number 17, 5 catches. He's made the most of them. 3 of them for touchdowns, 171 total yards.
34.2 yards per reception. That's not bad.
Fritz again on the sprint out and had a step on the defender, but ball overthrown a little bit by Trubisky. .242 to go. Third quarter. 2nd down and 10 now for the Cardinals, who have been incredibly efficient tonight with the football. That's Plafkin, who caught a touchdown pass in the first half. He was the intended target, but that one thrown out of bounds.
With the St. Edward Eagles having advanced earlier this afternoon in their matchup against the Mayfield Wildcats, that brings in the conversation, assuming Menor holds on to their lead here. How entertaining a matchup will that be next week?
Trubisky running this one straight up the middle, 1st down yardage.
And the
for
Cardinals
the senior.
Now 5 of 6 on 3rd down.
New 1st down for the Cardinals, as Trubisky, as you see right there, running it straight up the middle. Well, you can't say enough about the Menor offensive line up front. That ball intended for Schaefer dropped incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Think of how good an evening Mitch Trubisky would be having if his receivers weren't dropping quite so many balls.
Well, DeLisa would definitely have another touchdown pass. We know that from that last drive.
Trubisky would have equaled his career high of 6 touchdown passes in a single game.
But hard to knock them. They have certainly caught more than they have dropped tonight. DeLisa will run this one. And boy, he is so quick through the hole. And again, that goes back to that offensive line. Brandon Short helping to open up a big hole that time. Also, Mike Herniak, the senior, number 56, was in on that play. 3rd down and 1. Trubisky. A staggered snap count, almost got the Raiders to bite on it. 5 left on the play clock. 1.5 left in the 3rd quarter. DeLisa on the sweep to the left side. Turns the corner, gets the 1st down before he is ridden out of bounds by the Raiders. Boy, DeLisa just everywhere on the field.
Talking to Raiders head coach Steve Warren this week, he said, you know, developing the basketball rivalry with Menor.
That one's picked off. Jalen Powell goes up top to pick that one off. Interception. Raiders take over.
Big break for the Raiders. We talked about how badly they would need turnovers to be able to contend here in the 2nd half, and here they get their 1st of the night. Finishing up the thought on Steve Arnold as you watch one more look at the replay here, but he says they play football exactly the way that they play basketball. He says they are as fast-paced as anybody that you will play all year. They continue to push the pace. and force you to adjust to their style.
Daniels out to the 40-yard line, peels off. 12 on the play. They'll say his knee was down at the 39. It is an interesting analogy. There is no doubt about that. The Cardinals famous for raining down those three-pointers on all comers. Daniels.
Boy, dead to rights in the backfield and still squeezes ahead for 3 or 4 yards.
Out to the 43. It'll be 2nd down and 6 for the Raiders, who are trying to stay in this one, down 42-21.
And I think if you're the Raiders, I think every time you score from here on out, you should just onside kick. You have to give yourselves an opportunity to get the ball right back and keep it out of the hands of Mitch Trubisky and the Cardinals offense.
Flags come out, and it looks like the Raiders might have taken a timeout. So they use a timeout, their first of the second half, with 20 seconds left to go here in the third quarter.
We will be right back here next weekend with one of my favorite Mentor Cardinals of years gone by, J.J. Lasik. Tremendous linebacker here for the Scarlet and Gray, one of the coaches now for the Bombers.
Now they knocked off Talmadge, the top seed in the region. That's the final play of the third quarter. 3rd down and 4 coming up for the Raiders. The all-important fourth quarter is coming up next right here on our Time Warner Cable High School Football Game of the Week. Get their big tight end set. He's running by Carmichael, asking what the play is. He'll drop back to throw. Carmichael goes out, caught by Powell, and has the first down as they cross midfield. Well, how about that? They just did get their full complement of players on the field. And then Carmichael completes a pass for the first down.
Great job by Powell that time to go up and snag the ball in traffic.
Daniels, the lone setback. He'll get ahead of steam going. Hurdles over a man to the 40. Picked up close to 7 on that play. He'll get the 40-yard line as his forward progress. Last one to get off the pile was Joe Iafalise, the linebacker. Just underway fourth quarter. David Wilson along with Patrick Pearson. The Cardinals trying to advance. The St. Edward Eagles waiting in the wings. That's Daniels. He got a good block, and he is in the open field. We'll see that speed, and he will go in. Virtually untouched. There is a flag downfield. So we'll see how this affects the outcome of the play. Appears to be a 40-yard touchdown run, but it may be coming back.
Well, and it was a heck of a run as well, both power and speed on display there. And I think as we look back at the replay, the holding is at a situation, a point in the run where it had no bearing on the fact that the touchdown was going to be scored. There's the stiff arm, and then that top of your screen is where the hold was called. Typically, though, if you keep your hands inside the frame of the body, you usually don't see those flags come out. So the touchdown is wiped out. It's a 22.
Well, they marked it off from the 8-yard line and back to the 18 on the holding call, so a 32-yard run.
Yep, 22-yard net gain.
And then they marked off the 10-yard penalty. So what appeared to be a touchdown will be brought back, and they still hope it will culminate in a touchdown. But right now the football at the 17, 2nd down and 9. Full house backfield. They'll flip it to Daniels, running behind Coleman, but the hole closed very quickly. And now a long 3rd down coming up for the Raiders. 10 minutes to go, 4th quarter here in Mentor. So many great games around the state. This one in Division I, Region 1. Glad you're watching here on Time Warner Cable Sports. Daniels, a strong move, but again tripped up, trying to get some blocking help. But the Cardinals gang tackling, and Daniels goes down in a heap inside the 15-yard line. It'll be marked at the 13.
I think you have to be able to get Carmichael outside the pocket, give him a run-pass option, or at least a keep pitch option out on the edge.
4th down and 5 from the Mentor 13. They show blitz. Carmichael fires. That pass looked to be a little bit low, but it is hauled in and caught for a 1st down.
That ball will be spotted just outside the 6, call it the 7-yard line.
O'Shea Jackson with the catch. Boy, that was a very nice grab by Jackson. And a good call. The official right on top of it. 4th down conversion. 1st and goal from the 6-yard line for the Raiders. Carmichael gets inside the 5 and peels off about 3 on the keeper. With all of the running, Patrick, the clock really starts to wind down. And we were talking about this earlier. Not a team built for big-time comebacks. Again, the full house backfield. They will flip it. Daniels tries to turn the corner, and he is close. He is in. There's your touchdown for LaShawn Daniels. Daniels ran right over the orange pylon, corner of the end zone. 8:05 to go in regulation. And Harding puts on 6 more. You'll see it again right here.
Out in front, 2 good blocks on the edge. That's Dorsey and then Denzel Beaver getting to the outside.
Jimmy Rumpel is the holder. The kick is up and it is good. Dominic Jones converts the extra point, and it's 42-28, 2-touchdown lead right now. 14-point spread. Mentor on top. 8:05 to go, and they are able to overcome the holding call that wiped out the touchdown. They had a key 4th down conversion on that play on the pass from Carmichael to O'Shea Jackson. You would expect the onside kick coming up. Daniels with 2 touchdowns. 8:05 to go. Now you get the onside kick here, Patrick. You have a very interesting situation starting to develop.
Yeah, if that's the case, then you have the opportunity to score and get it down to a 1-possession ball game, and at that point then anything is back on the table. But the Mentor Cardinals most certainly prepared and expecting the onside kick.
There's There's a line drive kick that is knocked down and covered by the Cardinals. Corey Plavkin makes the stop. Now everybody's walking back.
Flag on the play right at the 40-yard line where the Raiders kicked off, so they will be. See, now I don't really care for the line drive offering the last time.
Here's the pop-up, and Plavkin again had it for a moment, then it's loose, and I think the Raiders have it.
No, see, he was down. He had possession of the ball, and he was laying on the ground. That's clearly Menor football at the point where he was laying on the ground with the football.
Well,
the fact that he then got up and tried to advance the football and fumbled it, that's irrelevant.
Officials talk it over, and they agree with Patrick's assessment. Warren Harding fans are not going to be happy with this one. Steve Arnold voicing his displeasure with the call. We'll see it here on the reception of this kick. There's
Plavkin has the ball, has possession of it, and he's.
No, I don't know, Patrick. I don't know.
Well,
Trubisky to the 45-yard line. Pickup of 8 on the play. We might have a chance to look at that one more time. I believe that it may have been Harding football.
It was Plavkin on top of the football when he first touched it. Now, at some point, do you consider him to be in contact with the ground and in possession of the football before then he rolls over and it pops loose? I don't know. If you say he doesn't have football, then or possession rather, then clearly Steve Arnold and the Raiders have a beef.
Now that upper angle is not as conclusive as the first one we saw. DeLisa running it, and he gets into Harding territory, and well, that you know, it turns out to be a very pivotal call in this game, because that is a potential huge momentum swing if they're able to recover that.
Not only is it a big boost for the Raiders, but they have the ball on a short field.
Cardinals now have a chance to really take the air out of it with 6.5 minutes to go. Raiders with 2 timeouts left. And we'll give it to DeLisa, and he has big time running room up the middle, right down the middle of the field. Gets to the 21-yard line. That will peel off 26.
Again, another inside handoff, makes the first guy miss, and has such speed to get to that next level.
First and 10 Menor. They lead it 42-28.
They lead by 2 touchdowns, and they're going to take their time. Certainly, as now the play clock winding under 10 as the play comes in. Shotgun formation. Schaefer is
the Raiders had a 14-13 lead early as Trubisky runs it. Bounces off a couple of Raiders defenders and gets all the way down near the 6-yard line. Boy, they have peeled off yardage in bunches on the last 2 plays. DeLisa and Trubisky running it.
Well, and this is an old Trubisky play, but as he has developed into a much better passer, they don't run that play nearly as often.
First and goal from the 6-yard line.
That doesn't mean it's any less effective now, though.
5:45 to go in the 4th quarter. They will keep it on the ground. That's Krasanzik. He's going to waltz in.
There is a flag on the play in the backfield, however. And it is a holding call against the Cardinals, so wipe that touchdown off the board.
Well, all of the Raiders bid on the fake. Krasanzik went in untouched, but they will walk it back to the 16-yard line. So the penalty occurred at the line of scrimmage, so no gain for Krasancic at all on the play. First and goal from the 16-yard line. Trubisky with 5 touchdown passes tonight. One short of his career high for touchdowns in a game.
Well, and that was 5 touchdown passes on the Menor first 5 offensive possessions of the game.
More flags now. Trubisky was getting ready to run that. Procedure penalty will walk off 5 more against the Cardinals. 1st and 15. Steve Trevisano will try and walk that one off himself as he storms up and down the sideline. 1st and goal from the 21. It was 1st and goal from the 6. Trubisky to throw it. Time in the pocket. That's incomplete. Looking for Connor Krasancic. 2nd down and 21. 14-point lead for the Cardinals after recovering the onside kick attempt by the Raiders in a somewhat controversial ruling on the field. Raiders felt that they had recovered the ball. After a discussion, the Cardinals were given possession. They'll get back inside the 20 as they run it, but only a couple of the 15 penalty yards are regained on that run. But more importantly, Patrick, the clock continues to motor toward the finish line.
Well, and if you're the Cardinals, the thing to keep in mind is a field goal on this drive would make it a 3-score affair and essentially put the game on ice. So while it would be nice to convert on 3rd and 18 and keep this drive going and potentially score a touchdown, if you can pick up a decent portion of the 18 yards, put yourself in field goal position and let music come out and put 3 more points up on the board, in the long run, I think that is just as good.
Music has a field goal tonight. He's 4 for 4 on the season. Trubisky, a long snap count. They finally snap it back to the senior. He'll go over the middle, out to the sideline rather. It's caught, and it's inside the 10, down close to the 7-yard line. Corey Plafkin, I believe, made the catch on that.
Right over the line.
That's Brandon Fritz, the receiver on that pass. It's 4th down and 7. The football marked at the 7. So here's music in. 24-yard field goal attempt.
The Raiders have to do whatever they can to block this field goal.
Did not get a piece of it, and it is up, and it is good. And a flag comes out late. 45-28 on a 24-yard field goal for the
onside kick. On their previous attempt, they would have still had their full playbook and full complement of run plays at their disposal. Carmichael turns back in to Kent Berger, and the 6'4" junior was just waiting.
That's the bear hug of the night.
Is that a new award we give out? Oh.
And also O'Shea Jackson.
45-28.
And Daniels is the deep backs in the I formation here. Carmichael.
Back to throw Carmichael. Jump pass caught by Daniels. He's up the far sideline. Breaks a tackle and ends up out of bounds. And that was key to stop the clock for the Raiders. 3.5 minutes to go. Well, Patrick, this is the type of game where after the Cardinals got rolling in the second quarter, the game seemed to be in their control, but the Raiders, to their credit, have never totally checked out of this game.
Gets the ball up the middle, a little bit off the right
Daniels hit and dropped on the 3rd and 3 play. He might have picked up one. It'll be 4th down. They'll say he picked up a couple 4th and 1 coming up. The Raiders have never folded in this game, and as we said, with that onside kick, had the opportunity to have the ball down by 14. Still playing very hard. 4th and 1.
Down and 1. Give this time to the up man, Coleman.
Coleman has plenty of yardage for the first down and more, running right up the middle of the field to the 45-yard line. $16-yard pickup for Coleman, the fullback. 2:45 to go. So I'm impressed with the Raiders, the way they've handled this and continue to play their game. Carmichael forced to throw now, has a man open. It's caught by O'Shea Jackson.
Well, and when you look at the Raiders as a team, obviously next year they will miss LaShawn Daniels, but 4 of the 5 starting offensive linemen return, and they will still have a strong run game, another year of development by Carmichael.
Pass goes out to Jalen Powell. He is a senior, a two-way player. He is tackled in Menor territory near the 45-yard line.
Yeah, Powell really a difference maker as well, not only on the offensive side, but as one of the more impactful athletes on the defensive side of the football. 90 seconds to play.
Daniels bounces it to the outside and gets all the way down near the 35 for first down yardage. Boy, this guy is really put on a show tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. It'll be fun to watch his career progress, as again, he's one of 7 Ohio high school players who are committed to play at Boston College beginning next season. Drew Barksdale from Solon, Kevin Kavalik included in that group, the fine defensive end from St. Ignatius.
Well, Daniels playing the final game of his career for the Warren Harding Raiders. What a job he has done tonight.
2nd down and 7 on the 32 of the Cardinals.
Under a minute to go here in the 4th quarter.
45-28 here. The Cardinals lead under a minute to play as the Raiders are driving.
Raiders are going to finish this season at 9-2. Carmichael out of bounds to stop the clock with 36 seconds left.
And this is a Raider team that, as we mentioned, was just 2-8 a season ago. And under Steve Arnold, who had been the basketball coach for the Warren G. Harding boys basketball squad until this past spring, to come in and do a job like this in his first year, I think speaks volumes about how he is able to motivate and unite young men in athletic competition.
Well, a Warren Harding player, the intended receiver on that play, shaken up. We'll take a look at our play of the day, Patrick, and well, we had many to choose from. Mitch Trubisky on this particular play, hooking up with, well, his favorite target tonight, Nick DeLisa. And when you're hot, you're hot. He slips down, still puts the pass right on the money.
When the second quarter began, the Cardinals were trailing 14-13, and that play was one of 3 Mitch Trubisky touchdown passes in the second quarter.
Well, updated totals for LaShawn Daniels, courtesy of our statistician Josh Williams. 40 carries, 251 yards on the ground tonight. What a job by Daniels in this game tonight.
Well, and that was the type of effort that we thought they would need from Daniels in order to compete in this game. And as we wind down the last 30 seconds, maybe the Raiders get another score, maybe they don't, but they certainly came to compete and I think acquitted themselves very, very well.
Absolutely, especially when you look at the way they started this game. They came out and gave Mentor their best shot early.
Once again, double barrel playoff action coming your way next week, both Friday and Saturday night of high school football here in the state of Ohio. That every single game that we do, we have all sorts of company in helping to bring Ohio football fans more high school football.
Well, Shea Jackson was the player shaken up. He's walking under his own power now over on the sideline, but he was down for a significant amount of time. Just 30 seconds left here at Osborne Stadium in Mentor. Once again, we want to thank all the folks here, Jeff Casella and all of his staff at Mentor High School, for hosting our broadcast tonight, and the 200 other media members who are here. Quick to the sideline. Aaron Qualls hauls that one in.
Third down and inches from the 11-yard line.
It'll be third down, very short. They are on the 11 with 25 seconds left. And boy, how great would it be to see Daniels get one final touchdown. He lines up as a setback.
The Raiders looking for their 10th third down conversion of the night, and they get it as Jalen Powell hauls in the 11-yard touchdown catch.
Carmichael finds his man in the end zone. Powell hauling that one in, 45-34 with 21 seconds left. Nice route on the post pattern by Powell. Carmichael looking over to the bench, asking about going for two. Even if they get two here, they're still down by 9. Only 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter. They will line up and kick the extra point. Dominic Jones. Here is the kick by Jones, and the PAT is up, and it is good. It is a 45-35 ball game. The Cardinals will receive one more kickoff from the Raiders. Well, the Harding Raiders started this game with a touchdown drive. Likely will be ending it that way as well.
45-35. Nothing to be ashamed about if this is the final score of record. If you are the Raiders of Warren G. Harding, they showed up tonight and they played incredibly hard for 4 quarters. And despite the fact that by seeds, as a 4-5 game, you would expect this to be a very close game. Prevailing thought coming into this Division I, Region I round of quarterfinals was that the top 4 seeds would advance rather easily. I thought of the advance to the semifinals.
They'll try the onside kick here. It bounces all the way down inside the 30, and it's still loose. We'll see if the Raiders will get the possession of the football this time. They'll have to untangle the pile to see.
Well, if the Raiders do indeed have the ball, then at this point you just start taking shots into the end zone. They do not.
Menor ball. Yep, Menor ball. Flag comes out as the players walk away. I have to believe some of the Harding players might have been hearkening back to the previous onside kick, possibly editorializing. Now, unsportsmanlike conduct against Warren. Have to imagine some very disappointed young men, and the emotions running high out there right now.
Quite a battle tonight.
Well, an excellent job by the Cardinals to recover that ball. It was loose for a significant portion of time. The personal foul
will dwindle away in this Region 1 playoff matchup, and the Cardinals will advance, improving to 10-1 on the season. The Raiders end their campaign at 9-2. Midfield handshakes to begin. Steve Trevisano meets Steve Arnold. And the Cardinals win on their home field. Patrick, great job as always. Talk to you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, partner. We'll look forward to having you back for a regional final.
Great job on stats by Josh Williams. Special thanks to our director, Davey Barris, and all of our 5 front crew. Now for Patrick Pearson, David Wilson saying goodbye for Menor. In the final score, Cardinals, the high-flying offense, they take care of business, defeating Warren Harding 45-35. You've been watching high school football on Time Warner Cable Sports.